There was an old motel on Highway 50 in Nevada. Its name no longer appeared on any map. Every night, its neon sign flickered on and off by itself. Only truck drivers stopped there, and many of them were never seen on that highway again. People said room 333 was never occupied, yet its light turned on every single night. The scariest part was the old CRT television inside the room. According to the legend, it could show the future. Anyone who watched it woke up the next morning with their memory changed. In 2025, horror YouTuber Ethan Cole arrived at the motel. He live-streamed his entire journey. Ethan Cole. It was 2 a.m. Heavy rain slammed against the parking lot. The motel looked completely empty. Ethan grabbed his camera and walked into the reception area. An old man sat behind the front desk. His eyes were completely white. The moment he saw Ethan, he asked only one question. Whisper, "Room 333? Ethan gave a nervous smile. "Yeah, that's the one." The old man silently handed him the key. While signing the guest register, Ethan noticed something strange. Every guest name listed in the book had an empty checkout date. Ethan reached the 3rd floor. The hallway was long and dark. The ceiling lights flickered slowly overhead. Room 333 stood at the very end of the corridor. He unlocked the door. The room smelled rotten. Dirty water stains covered the walls. A dim yellow lamp glowed in the corner. But the strangest thing in the room was the old CRT television sitting directly across from the bed. The TV was turned off, yet static crackled from inside it. TV static. Ethan set up his camera and switched the television on. At first, the screen showed nothing but black and white static. Then suddenly, the motel hallway appeared on the screen. The camera angle matched the exact floor Ethan was standing on. Ethan smirked. Probably some hidden security feed. But then he saw himself standing in the hallway on the television. The real Ethan was still inside the room. His smile slowly disappeared. Behind the TV version of Ethan, something appeared. A tall figure. Its body looked human, but its face was completely blurred, like someone had erased it. Ethan quickly turned around, but nobody was there. When he looked back at the television, the TV version of Ethan was slowly opening the door to room 333. At that exact moment, someone knocked on the real door. Knock, knock, knock. Ethan froze. On the television, his future self had already opened the door, and the moment the TV door opened, the screen went completely black. Another knock echoed through the room, louder this time. Knock, knock, knock. Ethan slowly walked toward the door. He grabbed the handle and pulled it open. The hallway was empty, but at the far end stood the same tall, blurred-faced figure. Its head nearly touched the ceiling. It didn't move. It simply stared at him. Then suddenly, every hallway light shut off. The entire floor sank into darkness. Pause. Then came the sound of footsteps sprinting toward him. Running sound. The creature was charging down the hallway. Ethan ran for the stairwell. His camera shook violently as he sprinted downstairs. He reached the reception area, but now it was empty. The old man was gone. The motel looked abandoned and decayed. Mold spread across the walls. Furniture had collapsed into dust. It looked like the place had been abandoned for decades. Suddenly, the old television in the corner of the reception area switched on by itself. TV static. Ethan appeared on the screen. He was standing in the exact same spot where he stood now. Then the blurred-faced creature slowly appeared behind him on the television, moving closer. Ethan spun around instantly, but there was nothing there. When he looked back at the screen, his future self lay motionless on the floor. His eyes were open, but his face looked completely empty, as if he no longer remembered who he was. Ethan ran out of the motel. He jumped into his car and sped down the highway. The next morning, police found his vehicle parked on the side of the road. Ethan was still alive, but he couldn't even remember his own name. Officers asked him what had happened. Ethan repeated the same sentence over and over again. Whisper. The TV never lies. A few days later, Ethan's live stream footage leaked online. In the final recording, the camera lay on the reception floor. Room 333's television was still turned on. The screen showed the highway outside. Another car slowly pulled into the motel parking lot. A man stepped out carrying a camera. He started walking toward the reception office. And from inside the darkness, the same old voice whispered again. Whisper. Room 333.